Now for today's video, I thought that we would try something a little bit different. Now obviously I'm sure as you can see I'm in the same clothes that I was in when I let you know about my updated video. So this video is pretty much one of the newer videos that I was talking about, where I'm mentioning, or at least going into maybe something revolving around, I guess the topic will be for success. So, you know, we'll see how that goes with this discussion. It's something that has kind of been on my mind for quite some time. So I thought, why not just go on ahead and try and, you know, let somebody hear it, I guess. Oof, I don't even know where to start. Okay. I guess with success, a lot of people want it, a good amount of people want it, now a vast amount of people want it because of social media. But I'll start off with the general purpose. When I decided that I wanted to take a success route, or at least somewhere going into mainstream, it became a lot more clearer to me that there were going to be certain advantages and certain disadvantages for me being able to try and go into the world of entertainment. Not everybody has a factor that can really be summed up to a whole categorized thing of what it is that they want to do. I don't know if that really makes sense, but basically what I mean by that is that sometimes what we think that we want, as far as what career choice that we try to go after, a lot of times it may not work out, and some way or another we end up getting steered into another direction on what our life is supposed to be and what our journey is supposed to have ahead of us. You know, for the longest time, I always knew when I was younger I wanted to do something that would leave some kind of legacy in this world, something to where I felt like my name was remembered. Very much so like the Beyonce song, I Was Here. Basically that's my mantra, I guess you could say. But I've always wanted to leave a legacy behind, basically. And I wanted to have it where I didn't leave the world feeling unforgotten in life. And on top of that, you know, like, of course, watching television, you see all these wonderful kid stars who grow up to be these badass adults, and not always in a good way. Like, you see them when they're younger and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of that kind of situation. I want to live up to that same standard. I want to have that same lifestyle. And sometimes, you know, it becomes a lot harder than you can expect it to. For me, I say as long as you know what you want to do, and a lot of people don't know what they want to do when they're younger in age, because of course, you know, you're still young, you're living out your youth, and a lot of times the parents are forcing the kids to kind of go into that direction, which, you know, they later on in life either regret or they're happy about that decision. But one thing that I could say about success is that it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. You know, I'm not always the most motivated person in the world. A lot of times, like, even to do this, a simple task, setting up your tripod, putting on your camera, putting on something, at least if not fully dressed, then above the waist and face looking somewhat decent, and you trying to present yourself as this phenomenal, wonderful person that everybody would love to be or love to be with, or whatever the case may be. All of that magic can kind of either be too much or be very draining, which is why you'll see like a lot of famous celebrities or YouTubers kind of make the videos where they're talking about they just need a break to kind of get themselves together mentally, physically, and all this other stuff. And for me, I already have like such a big procrastinative kind of mindset to where I normally choose to delay a lot of stuff only because I have maybe something else on my plate, or I just really feel like relaxing that day and not having to work too much or too hard on something. But I always find time, and I think a lot of times it does help when you have motivators maybe like in your comment sections, have motivators as family, have motivators as friends. In anything that you do, anything that you want to do, I would say that it's always good to have those people who are going to support you, and not half-ass on the support, not just kind of be like, oh, well, we'll support you, but we're not really going to like cheer you on until you've actually made it. I mean the supporters who are actually going to be there by your side, who are at least going to give you a phone call once in a blue moon and just say, hey, how are things going? How's the classes? How is this? How's that? How's that? You know, and just kind of see, and if you ever needed any advice, that they'll be willing to share that with you and not have it be where it's negative, or maybe you can try another field or whatever the case may be, unless that's something that you've talked to them about previously. But if that's not the case, then it's always good to have someone who is willing to talk to you and try to be there for you on your down days, because trust and believe, when you try to go into this world of success, it is not always going to be pleasurable, it's not always going to be fun, and it's not going to be what you see on television. A lot of times people will go into this world and think that, oh my gosh, just because I've seen something on television, that it's supposed to be this wonderful and magical thing, and all of a sudden it's just going to happen to them in a blink of an eye. Speaking from experience, because that's exactly how I felt about it, because low-key, high-key, I'm very spoiled. So I always just assumed that everything would come to me naturally because I'm just that bitch, when really I'm not. And the world has showed me that several of different times, and I've just really had to get my shit, well, you know, stuff together. So I just, you know, it's one of those things where you just have to kind of come into your own and understand, hey, there are certain limitations that I can't benefit off of, and I just have to work my own ways around it so that I get my own successful kind of story, or my own life journey to success, I guess you could say. I would say as long as you have the drive, the motivation, and it would be nice if you also had the skill set for it too, but that's something that you could learn. That's not something that is always self-taught, or, I mean, well, it is self-taught if you really try to self-teach it, but a lot of times it's not something that you're just naturally gifted with, you know. But if you work hard and try to continuously go after the dreams that you want out of life, then you should have no problem going and doing what you want, even if you have, because trust and believe, I've heard plenty of stories about, you know, people who've had overbearing parents who always saw this certain dream that they saw in their child, them being like a lawyer or a doctor or some kind of corporate officer, billionaire kind of person. And a lot of times people don't want that route. Sometimes people want to be a celebrity. Sometimes people want to be a police officer, firefighter, a soldier for the war. What else can I say? Just anything that you want them to be. Hell, some people may want a doctor when they get a lawyer. You know, like, who knows? Whatever your choice, whatever you decide to pursue, it's all about your dream. Don't ever have it where someone else dictates what your life should and should not be, because at the end of the day, it's your life that you're living for yourself. So you can't allow for anybody else to take your dream away from you, especially if you feel like this is something that you really want to pursue. You know, not only do I want to continuously do well with how my YouTube channel is, but I also want to be able to maybe get further into the world of makeup and get more enveloped into that world. You know, to be honest with you, I probably don't have the actual funds to travel and do all of this stuff for makeup just yet, but that doesn't mean that my dream isn't still alive. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of extra hard work on this job and this job and this job before you can actually get to the goals that you really want to get in life. And it may take time, and a lot of times you just have to focus on the goal. You can't focus on the side things of, oh, well, am I not getting it because of my age? Am I not getting it because of my skin tone? Am I not getting it because of my gender, my sexuality, whatever the case may be? Don't get me wrong. Those are definitely strong cases that a lot of times do play a major factor in, you know, life's world, unfortunately. But if you can't get that, then that just means that that wasn't the right opportunity for you. You know, anytime that something has not gone right in my life, I would normally, you know, bitch and complain about it and moan about it and like be so like, screw you, you know, kind of to the world and stuff like that. But eventually, once I kind of settled down from that and I got a nice pint of ice cream, well, a gallon of ice cream to be real with you, then I would kind of get myself together and be like, you know what, that wasn't meant for me, you know. So after I finished the ice cream, because, you know, it's damn good ice cream. But yeah, I would normally just let myself know that, hey, that just wasn't meant for me. That wasn't the job that I was supposed to have in life. And I just had to learn how to kind of move forward and wait until that, or keep fighting until that next opportunity came and presented itself towards me. And I was able to, you know, succeed with it. So hopefully that made what I just said, if any of that kind of caught your eye or caught your ear or whatever the case may be, hopefully you guys liked that, enjoyed it a little bit. You know, I'm just speaking word to mouth. You know, I have not really written anything down or anything like that. So all of this is just pro bono, like just off the Richter scales, off the scripts, something like that. But, ooh, out of frame. But, yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys maybe have taken something away from this. If you did, then by all means let me know down in the comment section below. I'm sure you will anyway. And, you know, we'll just go off of that. And I will talk to all of you guys later. And if you would like for me to do some more similar stuff like this, then I definitely will. To be quite honest with you, I'll probably do a couple of videos doing this exact same thing, so it's gonna already be pre-recorded by the time that you make your complaint like, no, stop it, don't do that anymore. It's like, okay, too late, I already did 3 other videos about this. But anyway, or similar to this. But anyways, I will talk to all of you guys later, and just always remember to PLEs, like, comment, and subscribe to all my videos. And more than likely, if I do go into a success part 2 on this, then I will have so much more to say, because I'm sure when I edit this, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I could have said this, could have said that. And when that moment comes, I'll be writing that down, so that next time when I have to talk about it, then I'll be able to mention it. But yeah, okay, I already said the outro, so this is pretty much pointless. So I guess, talk to y'all later. Bye.